In the heart of an ancient forest, far beyond the last whisper of human footsteps, a young striped cat named Miro wandered alone. Miro was not a wild cat. He once lived in a cozy house near the edge of the woods, where sunlight filtered through the windows, and his human gave him warm milk every morning. But curiosity, as they say, is the true nature of cats. One bright morning, Miro chased a flickering butterfly past the garden gate, past the tall grass, and deep into the woods. When he finally lost sight of the butterfly, he turned to head home, only to realize he didn't recognize anything around him. The trees were taller here, the light dimmer, and the wind whispered strange things through the leaves. Miro meowed softly, but only the echo of his voice returned. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the forest became a shadowy maze. Hungry and cold, Miro stumbled through the undergrowth, hoping to find shelter. That's when he saw it, an old moss-covered stone well in a clearing, its wooden cover broken and leaning to one side. Curious and desperate for a place to rest, Miro stepped closer. Suddenly, the soft soil beneath his paws gave way. With a terrified yowl, Miro tumbled into the well, landing with a splash in the cold, muddy water at the bottom. Dazed and shivering, he tried to climb the slippery stones, but they offered no grip. The sky was a small, distant circle above. He was trapped, but Miro wasn't alone. From the darkness in the water came a quiet hiss. A pair of glowing eyes opened. Coiled in the shadows was a massive snake, its scales slick and dark as oil, its tongue flicking the air. It had lived in the well for years, disturbed only by the occasional frog or bird. But a cat was a rare visitor, and the snake did not like visitors. Miro froze, his fur bristling with terror. The snake lunged. Miro twisted just in time, the serpent's fangs grazing his shoulder. Pain seared through him. He clawed blindly, swiping at the snake's face. The two creatures thrashed in the water, fur and scale, claw and fang. Miro's small body moved with desperate speed, fueled by fear and the will to survive. Finally, Miro found a loose stone in the well wall, jammed his claws into it, and pushed himself halfway up. The snake struck again, but this time Miro kicked with his hind legs, catching the snake in the jaw. The serpent recoiled, retreating into the shadows with a furious hiss. Wounded and panting, Miro clung to the stone, too exhausted to cry. Hours passed. The night was silent above. But at dawn, a soft rustling came from the forest. A young girl and her grandfather were foraging for mushrooms when they heard faint cries echoing from the well. They ran to it, and the girl gasped when she saw the small striped cat clinging inside. With great care, the grandfather lowered a basket tied to a rope. Miro, barely conscious, was lifted from the well, soaked and trembling. The girl wrapped him in her shawl and held him close. The snake never surfaced again. Miro recovered in their cottage, warm by the fire, fed with gentle hands. Though the forest still whispered outside, Miro never wandered far again. But sometimes on quiet nights he would gaze into the flames, and his tail would twitch at the memory of the glowing eyes and the hiss that haunted the bottom of the well.